Well, good morning to both of you on the moment. Dwight and Brad, let's get this party started. Hey, hello everyone out there in Trainland. James, Dundas Junction. I think we have Brad from Willow Creek. He was the first one in. He gets the lamb steak, lamb chops. What was what? Oh, you want to see my animated logo? That was new. Yeah, so here we go once again. See if I can remember what we're talking about today. Should be able to. So I just wrote up what we're going to talk about just a few days ago, right? Yeah, so welcome everybody. Yeah, I want to go over a couple of things, but I think there's about 3 things I'm going to go over during this show today. We'll start with where we're at with Roy Smith's layout photos. Ooh, fixed your curved turnout. Yeah, so we're gonna go over layout photos, which are coming up in 2 weeks. So if you do post to the Facebook group, Union Pacific Evanston Subdivision, or N-Scale Union Pacific Evanston Subdivision, get your layout photos in there. I also wanted to talk about in the show about how I put that together. So what I do is I go over to, let me see, I think we could probably share the screen, but we'll see. Yeah, so let's go back to the N-Scale Union Pacific Evanston Subdivision Group. What I usually do is, I usually look at everybody's photos and try to put likes on there. But I usually go to the recent media area, and this just has all the photos recently posted. It also includes videos that are posted to Facebook, but those are a little bit problematic in trying to get those to work. So, oh yeah, let's see. Yes, I have the Lego. Let's see if I turn this right. You can see some of the Lego collection. If we go on a detour here, oh, I'm in the wrong side of the camera, backwards. Yep. So there we go. The Saturn V on its side, space shuttle, and over in the far end, I've got the Hubble and lunar lander, the LEM. Yes, amongst the other things that I collect are Lego. So yes. I also have up, and you'll see right up there, I have every one of the architecture, um, cityscapes, um, and I have almost every single one of the Lego architecture series. And they're scattered around this whole room here, as well as there's other Lego throughout the house. But that's not what we were talking about. I got detoured. Yeah, so I go over to Facebook. I go in the recent media. I go and download those photos like after, like at the first of the month. I then put those all together, save them with people's names. I save all the photos, and then I go through the slide deck, and I have to choose to try to find the best shots that people have posted. That puts me in the space of I'm the editor. Yeah, some people's best photos might not be up in the videos. And so I put together a slideshow. I then take that over and make it into a video, and then I make it ready to be published. So um, the thing is I wanted to bring up here, trying to avoid some dead air space here. Thing I want to mention is that I hope that we continue to spread Roy Smith's word of, reaching out to the hobbyists, showing all their great work, all your great work, and bringing that to other people. So that's really what this show is about. Even though I reach out to far less number of people than Roy did. Roy had over almost 15,000 or more subscribers. I have 258, the last count. So not insignificant, but less than 0.5%. I don't know if I can do the math in my head. Maybe 1% of the audience that Roy reached. So we do what we can do. We are reaching people in the Facebook group. He had about 3,000 people in there. For the people that actually pay attention to Facebook, um, they can see there that at least the show. And yeah, so that's what we're doing with the show. So and I'm usually trying to bring the layout photos that the first Saturday of the month or so. It has to vary sometimes because if the end of the month is too close to the Saturday, I won't have enough time to do all the production. But I do believe that we will have a show. Can go look at my calendar here. Yeah, so we'll have that show 2 weeks from today, which will be October 5th. October 5th, we will have the next layout photos. I'm probably going to publish that. I'm going to continue the live show every Saturday. But I also think I will publish the video independently. It just reaches different audiences. Certain people want to tune in the live show, and other people just like to watch the videos as they come. So that's what I'll do. I had that before. We got some people watching both shows. I may or may not play that video during the live show. I'm not sure yet. I just make this stuff up as I go. I'm kind of like some other people. I just make these stuff up as I go. So on to the next topic. So last week, we went through using a DS74, just some basic operations about that, and even routing some stuff. But I was exploring my drawers of parts that I've accumulated and discovered that, or remembered that, I have other ways of controlling those. You can buy these switch control panel. That's a switch. And then there's a input connector board. This plugs in, it's got little ribbon cable. No, Brad, it's not just N scale, it's any layout photos that people post. I try to not to try to keep it to layout photos and really train related photos. Let's put that up there, that question. That's a great question, Brad. I try to keep it specifically to layout photos that people posted. I will also, if people post things about events upcoming in their area, I will make mention of those. We don't have those that often. I tried to do some things where when people are posting YouTube videos that I would make mention of them, but I haven't had a good way to actually incorporate that into the video yet. So yes, any scale, any layout size that you want. Garden, O scale, 3-rail O, O27, G, S, TT, whatever you want. Whatever it's called in, I think it's called in England, it's double O and not HO, I think. Is that right? So yeah, any scale, anything you want, layout related, scenery, whatever, train stuff, helixes. Hey, Big John, welcome. Thanks for joining us. So I'm trying not to get detoured, but trying also to answer the questions in the chats as they come up. So anyways, they were talking about the input connector board by Digitrax. So this connects to your DS74. And with that, it has this little ribbon cable. And maybe I'll switch cameras here. Let's take this over. Yeah. Oh, there's Rocky. All right. So what we've got here is you've got a ribbon cable, and it connects to this it's basically a breakout board. There's no circuitry on here. It's just routing traces. So what this allows you to do is plug this part in to your DS74. Make sure we got the brown on the right side like they want it. Plug that in. Then you have this switch. You make a little hole in your fascia. I think it says about a 1-inch hole. And then let's see, plug this in with the brown side closest to the connector here. It also has a place if you want to independently power this here on this side here. And then you can also take, just instead of using the ribbon cable, you could take the inputs from these terminals here. And I think, I bet these, yeah. If you want, you can just take that off of there if you don't need it. Or if you don't want to have shorts or something that you might get if you have those open. So there you go. So that's that Breakout. This one over here will go to a BD4N, which is, I believe that's taking input from a different source. That's your block detection. We'll go over that maybe in another show. So let's put power onto this. And so I've got the switch connected, and that's kind of nice. It's got an indicator that says which direction the switch is going. Let's move Rocky out of the way. Got our switch down here. And if I push the button, now it's diverging, and it shows you on the panel. So if you've got this switch and it's set up and it's in an area where you can't see it very well, having an indicator on your fascia, and that's actually red, it's not showing up that great in the camera. But yeah, that's all there is to that. Now, last week, somebody asked me, hey, can you use that DS74 to control these dual turnout Kato switches? And their answer is yes. So let me take another switch here. Just plug this in on the 2. And now we've got that one there. Again, that's green. If I push the switch, all 4 directions change. And I think in this one, there's actually 2 solenoids that are making all this happen. There's not 4, from my understanding. I think there's 1 on this end and 1 on this end. However, I have not opened this up. I could to see and explore it, but I think there's just 2 of the 2 solenoids to make that happen. There could be 4, but I don't think so. So how do I know that there's more than 1 solenoid here? Well, it turns out that so we're almost ready to segue into the third part of the show. I thought it was going to be bigger, but I just ran out of time to actually show you what I was going to do. But there's another option from Digitrax for doing stationary decoders. So if we can, let's open this up. It's crazy how much stuff I have just accumulated that I'm not using all the time. This is called this decoder, which is about this. It's the same packaging as you might put inside of your locomotive. It's a fairly small decoder. This decoder here can handle, via track power, 1 turnout. And this is special. This is only for use with Kato Unitrack bipolar turnout machines or similar device. So what do they mean by that? Well, they mean that this one will not control one of those 3-wire Atlas type solenoids, to my knowledge. But it's a fairly easy install. You take the red and the gray wires, which are here. Take the orange and the gray wires go to the turnout. Red and black go to track power, and then usually this yellow wire is doing nothing. But if you take this yellow wire and connect it, let's see, you connect it to the black wire, I believe. Yeah, temporarily. So you turn off the track power, connect the yellow programming wire to the same rail as the black wire. So you could patch these together. At that point, you can then, that point makes this decoder ready to be programmed, you can then go to your turnout control and put in a number, say 29, throw that. And then if this was controlling this turnout down here, then you would have set this to 29, then you disconnect the yellow wire, put it off to the side, and then you've got a fairly good remote control. So it doesn't require any other wires that go out on your layout. It just needs track power and access to the red and black wires on the turnout. So it's actually a little bit interesting. The orange and gray are the ones you connect to the red and black turnout wires. But anyways, I thought I would bring that up. I thought about showing how we could incorporate this into a PC board and hook up half a dozen of them all on one board and kind of make a multi turnout control device, but I just ran out of time. So yeah, that's the DS51K1 from Digitrax. Might be useful in some scenarios where you've got a turnout that it's just not convenient to, or you only have, you might just have one or two on your layout, and you just don't want to invest in something expensive. These were about $15. I think, like everything else, they're now $20, which if you buy 4 of them, it's about the same price as buying one of these. So I don't know. Yeah, so we demonstrated you can control these multi-solenoid turnouts with a DS74, and you can do it. The other thing I mentioned, you saw me do the switch from the throttle. The only thing is, isn't that clever? That switch is actually telling you. That switch is actually telling you and communicating up to this on the fascia board here. So you can control it by either's, and it keeps synchronized, which is a really handy thing to do. I think only those switch cats by NCE actually did something that were similar to that. Okay, yeah. The cost of the part. Sorry about that. My mom was trying to call me at the same time. I think it was causing the mic to cut out. The costs of this part, that DS51K1 Digitrax, I found them about $15, but they might be about 20 now. But if you think about it, if you're going to invest in layout control, if you're going to invest in that kind of stuff, that yeah, you're going to be spending probably about that much in some scenarios. And yeah, thanks for the question, GRE 2057. Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us as part of your Saturday. And yeah, so I think I've covered everything that I was going to cover in the show. Yeah. Rocky's out here, down here, off the rails. Yeah, so that's about all the content that I have today. I don't think I'm going to cover any more turnout control. I think people are sick of that. I'm sick of that. I think we're going to do something else next week. I don't know what it is. I just make this stuff up about 2 days before. I'm not the kind of guy that writes a script for the show. It's very just ad hoc. I just do what I'm going to do. Might mention, I don't remember the costs the last time I got these other parts, but yeah, that DS74 input connector board, that's this little piece right here. And then you can plug in up to 4, just like you're controlling 4 turnouts off the DS74. You can put 4 remote switch controls that you can just put in a 1-inch hole and screw those in onto your fascia. And yeah, what kind of hole? You probably don't want to have it more than a fascia board. So 1/2-inch plywood is probably not going to work for this application, but a 1/16 or an 1/8-inch masonite will just do just fine. It's got a little place for that. And it's really great. You don't have to hook this up, even though it has options for additional power. You don't have to hook that up to make this happen. Kind of a nice option there. And you also don't have to have any other wires other than the wires that are going back to the DS74, except for this ribbon cable here. You can make this longer. You can be that way and want to make a longer 10 connector. I think 10 wires here. Mystic, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Yep. So we're just wrapping up a little bit here. Let's again go through. I am continuing to publish the layout photos from Roy Smith's channel. I think we're a month out, a little bit over a month out from when he passed away, but the channel is still going strong. People are still posting up there. I hope I'll probably put a post up in the channel. I mean, in the Facebook group that says, "Hey, please continue to post your photos," because that's the way we can keep the message of Roy out there. Roy's message is the same one that all of us joining channels or participating in these online streams. We're trying to keep the hobby growing, trying to keep the hobby exciting about the hobby, and showing, our unique ways about how we're doing things in the hobby. Everybody's got their own different ways of doing things, and we can just continue to grow and learn from each other, as well as just, enjoy some coffee or donuts or whatnot. I don't have either of those at the moment. I already drank my coffee, and I don't have donuts. But let's see. Let's recognize Brad from Willow Creek Industrial Spur with the very first one here. So thank you, Brad. Rocky, thanks you. Again, remember that this is now a wood stove. Something from China. Some mountain goat, right? But yeah, that's our little mascot for Rocky. So layout photos, we went through the DS74 remote control manually, and we answered the question from last week that I think John Paulson, who's not with us this week, but hey, John, when you watch this, thanks for the great question. You can control multi-solenoid Kato switches from the DS74. And, that's probably about all I got. I don't think I can stretch this out another half an hour. Does Rocky drink cocoa. I don't know. I don't see any evidence of him drinking cocoa here. But I know what he doesn't do. He doesn't drink or doesn't get covered with dog slobber. Like the previous furry one that my dog will just take away and run and hide and chew on it. Which is the reason why I had to switch the mascot uh, dogs. Anywho, yeah, that's all I got, guys. I think we'll just say adios. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. Please, I think you all have, but please like and subscribe if you haven't. And we'll join you next week at this time where we'll cover on episode 6 something else, something new. Maybe we'll go in and talk about my helix, which, everybody's begging to see yet another helix being built because nobody builds helixes and they all build them in their own way. Anyways, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Good trains. I could do the thanks for watching thing for Mike Pfeiffer, but I'm not going to do that. Gotta have my own thing. I'll tell you next time. See you all later. Bye-bye.